Hey guys, what is going on? I'm going to be doing a tier list video here. Going over the top 10 LRs, I think, in Dokkan at the moment. Now, I know if you've seen my content, you know like 99.9% of the stuff I upload is from Global. So you're probably like, how can you make a list? You haven't even used the units. You say all the time that until you use them, you don't know. It's like, well, all the units on this list I actually have used. If you noticed, I did upload 2 shorts for my JP account where I actually did pull both of the anniversary LRs, this one, and where are they? Here. I pulled both of them. Now, I did not pull the Carnival units, so they're a little bit trickier to rank, so them I did have to do a lot more, like, watching than actually using. So if you get mad about where I place them, just know that, you know, they are the units that I have not used the most. Maybe come July, I'll do another one of these, and I'll update where I put them on the list. Now, I just want to go over this before I start. If you notice, I kind of have colors over here. That's kind of going to be anybody that falls into, like, the same color. I could, like, move them anywhere in there, and I'd be pretty happy with that. So you can kind of see that I do think that there is one unit that stands better than the others. Now, I probably could make this the green color and just make all 4 of these the same, but there is one unit right now that I think is just so much more, I don't want to say so much more powerful, but we'll get to that. I'll talk about it when we get to that. So, this could be green. Like, honestly, I could make this the same as these other 4, and I could just put whoever I want in this top tier, but for the purposes of this video, I did want to make this like a definitive top 10. So this unit I did want to stand alone. So I really thought about it. I got together and I was like, okay, one of these units has to be better than the others. Which one do I like and why? So we'll get to that. All right. Let me go over here real quick so I can pull up my notes. All right. So I do have an 11 here. There's a few units here that I put that I felt like, specifically, like 11 and 10, I didn't really want to break those up. So I put them in the same, like, I wanted to just add them because I think these 2 units are, I don't want to say effectively the same, but they're so similar that I didn't feel right breaking them up. So we're going to start out with number 10 here. We got AGL Jacko. Now, AGL Jacko is not actually on the list. That's a fake out. Anyway, number 11, we have this Gohan, the Kid Gohan, the Int Kid Gohan, leads Bond Master and Disciple 200%. I'm going to go ahead and throw him up here on the list. Here we go. Oh, no, that's still Jacko. Okay, so Gohan, Bond Master and Disciple 200%. Not like the craziest category ever, but it is good. You have him. This Gohan is like fringe good, but they share the same name, so that's kind of a pain. Especially because this Gohan is not a slot 1 unit at all. They want him to get hit like he is a slot 1 unit, but he's not. So it's like if you're bringing this guy, like you're going to have a rotation where this guy's in slot 2 and this guy's in slot 3, like fairly often. And I just don't like that, so that's like an issue. Whis can dodge, I guess, but if you're bringing Whis, like, what's the point? Like, you're literally just bringing him to dodge, so I don't know if I'd say, like, oh, Whis is a great option on the team. It's like, not really. He may be coming up on an easy A this year. Who knows? We'll see. None of the rest of these units are good. This guy sucks. This guy needs an easy A when you're released. Yeah, none of the rest of these guys this guy might be coming up on an easy A. Him, the Vegeta, and the Bergamo, they might be easying somewhat soon, maybe. This unit, one, I hate this unit. If you watched my Carnival Goku summons, you will see why I hate this unit. This unit, probably one of the best units on the team. Or, well, definitely is one of the best. This guy's one of the best. This guy's pretty good with the guard. He can, like, survive basically any hit in the game at the moment, which is about all you can ask for. So he's kind of your slot 1 unit for this Gohan. And you do need him. Oh, spoilers. Don't look at that. I forgot. Anyway, shoot, I'll just go ahead and do it. I was talking about how they're similar anyway. Put him up there. That's gonna make people mad, but I don't care. Okay, so let me just delete Jacko. He's the one throwing me off here. Alright, so then we got the category. Oh, I'm all over the place. Anyway, but his super attack effect, his 12 key just raises attack for 1 turn. This is worthless. Like, this 12 key effect, this is absolutely garbage. You'll get no value out of this whatsoever. His ultra super attack, like, stacks attack and defense, I believe, by 20%. Right here. Yeah, 20% stack. And then his unit super attacks, I believe, are both the exact same. Yes. It's just they have different conditions. I don't know why they broke it out like this. They could have just put, like... It's because there's 2 different animations for it. That's why it's broken out. But it's the same effect, same conditions, so that actually changes to a 30% defense raise if you get the unit super attack, which is going to be very important for this unit because their defense is, like, it can be okay, but a lot of it is coming from getting hit, and getting hit in slot 2, like I said, is just not, like, easy most of the time unless you're fighting, like, the core. And you get this character on turn 1 of the core so that you can get him on turn 1 and 3 and get the most attacks possible. So you really want, like, this effect. Now, Krillin, or Yamcha's not too hard to get because this guy is on the, where is it? Here it is, yeah, Earth-bred fighters, so you can get Yamcha on Yamcha's team. We don't really have a good Krillin, we don't really have a good Tien at the moment. We do have, you know, his best linking partner is the Goku, but they're not on each other's teams, which is really weird, because this guy's not on Turtle School, and for some reason that Goku's not on Bond of Master and Disciple. Not sure why, but, so, like, the best linking partner is Goku, but they're not on each other's teams, so you'd have to use them on, like, Vegeta and Trunks' team. So, it's just odd, right? But then if you're on Vegeta and Trunks' team, you want Vegeta and Trunks in slot 1 most of the time, so then you can't run them as a rotation, so it's just like, this isn't super great. So the unit super you're getting at the moment is the Piccolo one, and you're getting it with that Int Piccolo from the World Tournament. I'm probably spending too much time talking about this Gohan, but it's like he's doing a lot. The reason I have him so low, though, is just because of his design. He's a slot 2 unit that has, like, the kit, like a slot 1 unit, basically, like, with the building key, per attack received, the defense per attack received, you know, attack per after the 5th attack received. I don't like this. I don't like this. This active skill is pretty good. Not a bad condition, but not great because it's... Oh, no, it is good. It is good. It's below 58% HP or from the 5th turn. I missed the or here. Or, yeah, right here. Why is there 2 ors? Can be activated when HP is 58%. Oh, or below, or. This is the important or. Anyway, but yeah, so... Now, as you saw, I think Cooler's the next unit, and I think these two are effectively doing the same thing. They're both, like, you know, stacking attack. They're both, like, building up in their passive. Like, they're both very offensive-oriented units that can have good defense. The reason I put Cooler over him is, one, I like Cooler's leader skill better. Gohan's is good, right, with the Bond of Master and Disciple, but I don't know, I like villain teams. It's like one of our, like, 2 good villain leaders at the moment. I guess kind of 3 if you count Metal Cooler. He can still be a good leader, but then you're just running Wicked Bloodline, and at that point you might as well just be running this guy's team, who you can put more options on. The reason I like this guy better is a few reasons. One is this. His 12 key effect is just, like, infinitely better. He's not stacking defense, but he does make up for it here, where he's greatly raising defense for 1 turn. He's doing a bajillion attacks, and he's lowering attack. There are several enemies right now that in their first phase or in Super Battle Road that you can get a lot of value out of this out of this lower attack here. So I don't know. And the active skill condition is pretty good. Like, you can get that on his, like, it's basically turn 5 or later is basically when that is. It's on his 3rd appearance. So I don't know. I like this Cooler more than I like the Gohan. Sorry, I spent way too much time talking about the Gohan, but we're just going to try to speed up here, talk about Cooler, because I'm already 10 minutes into this video. This is going to be like an hour long if I keep this up. So yeah, but also Cooler is just, like, way swaggier. Like, I mean, like, that entrance animation, he, like, flexes, you know, and then, like, he's doing the death ball, whatever it is. What is it? Yeah, the supernova. Man, that is just... This guy is a million times more hype and more fun, I think, than this Gohan. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, next up, this is also going to make some people mad. I have this unit. Now, before you all go to the comments, let's talk about it. I got a lot to say about this guy. Okay, so, first off, leader skill. I do not like this leader skill. Even with all the final trump card buffs during the 8th anniversary celebration, I just do not like running them as the leader of this team. It's not necessarily the leader skill that's awful anymore. I mean, it's still not great. But running 2 of this unit is just a death sentence. Now, people are going to be like, oh, but you have the standby. Look, he gets it. Oh, and then he can't be hurt. And it's like, yeah, that's great. I think that's actually the only value that this unit has. I think all of this form, this Goku and Vegeta, they're worthless. The only reason they're even on this list is because of this form right here. I do not like this unit. I don't think they bring any value to the team. It's like, oh, that's great. They're stacking. It's just raw stats. Oh, they've got crit. Oh, guess what? Like, all the units on this list have crit. That's crazy, dude. Or they do, like, 1,000,000 attacks also. They do nothing special here. I do not like this unit. Like, hang on. Let me... Thank you. This is just a unit. And people are like, oh, we need a 50-turn event. And then you'll see. Then they'll be at like a bajillion defense. You'll see, guys. It's like, well, that's great, but in order to make a long event like that hard, guess what? They have to make the early stages hard too. So if the early stages are hard, this guy's still gonna get wiped off the field. And guess what? If you want to talk about stacking, let's look at this. This unit stacks. This unit stacks. This unit stacks. They don't really stack, but they build up. This guy builds up. This guy stacks. Like, they stack. He stacks. You stack. Like, who cares? Like, right? Like, stacking is not like, oh, they stack. They're so special. Nobody else stacks. Only they're stacking. No. They're not special. Every other unit, like, on this list is stacking, basically, except Cooler, which is why he's lower. It's just like, they can't balance hard event, like a long event like that, because this unit's still going to get wiped off the field, because in order to balance around these other good units who have defensive capabilities other than stacking, guard, they have to make the early stages difficult. So if they're making the early stages difficult, guess what? Their defense doesn't get good until a long time into the fight. So if those early stages are hard, I know I'm just repeating myself, but they're gone. They're dust. And it's like, oh, but you just transform into this. It's like, okay, that's great. After performing 4 more attacks, starting from the 4th turn. Okay, people like to rag on these 2 units because it's like, oh man, on that turn 3, you're not very safe with them. They lose their guard after turn 1. And you know, you get to that turn 3 and it's like, they're not super great. You know, you're trying to just buy your time until turn 4. Oh, sorry, I'm just clicking everywhere. But they have the same issue. You're buying time until this Spirit Bomb, and then you're just sitting there, right? Like, then they switch, and I think they're good. I think the only value they have is in this form, because the Spirit Bomb, I do think is very good. It's very powerful, and their defensive capabilities are very good. And they're like rainbow keys, like they're creating rainbow key spheres. This is good. I like this. I like this a lot. However, they can take damage in this form if you get unlucky with the key, which I'm sure somebody out there, you're just like me, where you've had a Rainbow Orb Changer, and you get them on that turn, and they change, like, 1 key sphere, and you're like, oh, thank you, great, and they can't do anything. Also, I don't believe, let me make sure, cards all attacks for 4 turns, yeah, so it's like, don't they switch out of this form, like, if you don't launch it? Like, they don't stay here forever, do they? I don't remember how long this lasts, but either way, it's like they don't guard forever. Like, you only get 4 turns of guard whenever you're in this form. So if we do get a 20-turn long event, crazy event, right? Guess what, guys? They don't guard forever. So you can't just sit there in this form forever, right? Like, what am I missing here? Like, if we do get a long fight, okay, cool, great. The beginning stages are going to wipe this out, and the long parts are going to wipe this guy out. So if you stay in this too long. And if you do launch it, you go back to this guy, guess what? You weren't stacking for the turns that while you're in this guy. In those long events, they're only going to get harder as you go on. So they're just going to get dusted. That's the fate of this unit, is they will just get dusted for all time. So that's why they're there. Now, I did put them here. I do think they're better than these two. But I could see them down here. It's just... right now, I do think they're good. Because the standby is very powerful right now. But they're not going to age well. They are not going to age well. I already revealed it, but by the way, yeah, this guy. Like that guy. Next up, we got Gohan. Now, some people might think that this is too low. I think this is good. Gohan starts out with defense that is just too low. This guy, here we go. His defense is just not... There we go. I don't think it's good enough at, like, the very start of turns. It can build up. It does get good. But he does have a tendency to take a lot of damage, even though he's guarding on his first appearance. And with content centered around, like, kind of like the short events right now, you're just... I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I think he's very good. I love this unit. Every time I get a chance to use it, I'm like, boom, gotta put Gohan on the team. But man, just that start of turn defense, until this really gets built up and he starts getting some stacks in, he's just a little creepy. And I do think that the units above him are better. What other units are doing on this section down here I think they have more value than this guy. And I'm also not really factoring this in at all. The only place you're even going to get this is the Red Ribbon Army Red Zone, which obviously was designed for this guy and like Piccolo and Gohan to do well in. Really this guy though, because it gives you several android enemies that you can transform against on turn 5. And you can get it, but as you build up this guy, right? And usually the teams you'll run this guy on are very good and very tanky. Falling below that HP threshold is not going to be super easy still, and I just don't think you're going to find consistency in getting this guy out. So I can't really add too much, like, I can't give him too many points to push him up on the list because of this form, just because of the inconsistency you're going to have in getting it out. But this guy is very powerful. Where would I put him on the list if he was standalone? By the way, if they were standalone on the list just as, like, that Buu Saga form, like if they started the turn and they were just like the charging the Spirit Bomb form, and then you were like dropping it on turn 5 or 4 or something like that, I'd probably move them up into this tier right here. I don't think I'd move them into the green and red tier, but I think I would move them up 1 tier if they just started and you didn't have to deal with these frauds right here. But that's only for current content, because then they would age out as soon as events got longer. Sorry, I know I don't want to accidentally click too far, so I gotta go in here. I've already revealed too much. I'm fumbling. It's my first tier list video. What am I doing? So yeah. Anyway, but this guy's good. I think that there are better units than him. So that's kind of where I'm at with this guy. His leader skill is very good too. 180%. It's definitely. I mean, it's the next best thing besides a 200% leader. So next up, we have Carnival Goku. Now, these two, I really probably could have put in a tier by themselves. Just said, like, okay, these are effectively the same unit. They're doing a lot of the same things. Gohan will probably stack defense faster. The reason I have Goku in 7 is 2 reasons. Is the revive. Where is it? Right here. No. I'm a dummy. Right here. Right here. There we go. I think the revive is much more powerful than what anything Gohan is doing, and it's much more consistent. I know I just said, oh, boy, it's the same condition, 59 versus 58, and it's like, I mean, sure, but how do I describe this? Because it is effectively, one, this is just, it doesn't matter what turn you're on with this. This does not have a turn limit. Whenever you start combining HP and turn restrictions together, that's whenever I start thinking that they're super inconsistent. Whenever it's just one or the other. Like if Gohan was just turn 5, or if it was just under 58% HP, which it can be if you have an Android 16 on the team, but guess what? Android 16 sucks. There isn't a good one. Then, then I get it. But the reason this is just much more consistent because it's only the HP condition. And then one thing is this active skill right here. This disables enemy action within the turn. I cannot tell you how much value I've gotten out of that, where I am like 90% confident that I have nullified so many supers because of this. It's like you get that active skill up and it's like, oh man, we're probably going to get super there in slot 1. Boom, you just activate that and now you're safe. A lot of the times too, sometimes there'll only be one attack in that first point. I've had it several times where it's just like, okay, we can disable the action, and now our slot 2 unit that normally we would have put in slot 2, we can put them in slot 1 now, and not have to worry about them getting hit first, and you can kind of help your rotations that way too. So I think this is a very underrated ability. They haven't given it out too much. Like, they've been giving it out a little bit, but I don't think the community ranks this high enough. I think they just kind of think, oh, it disables action, whatever. But this is a very powerful ability. So I do put that up. So I think just the consistency, knowing what you're gonna get out of this guy every turn, as opposed to Gohan, who it's like, I mean, this form is consistent, but this is where it's like, are we getting this? Are we getting this crazy, like, one of the best units in the game? Or are we just gonna have this good unit? So that's kind of where I'm at with these guys. Next up, now this one is really close. And again, keep in mind that everybody in this blue tier, I could move them anywhere within here. But next up, we have this guy. Again, haven't used this guy very much. I could probably just fill in the rest of the list now, but... Ooh, this guy is really good. He has a pretty good leader skill. But one of the big differentiating factors, I'm just going to go ahead and put up the character that's next, is this guy. I'm just talking about them both at the same time and why I like Trunks and Vegeta over this Goku. One is the leader skill. I think this leader skill is just way better, especially now that they have Blue Vegeta, or Blue Vegito on their team. I just think that their leader skill is way better. Turtle School is good, but it's not like the end-all, be-all of leader skills. This guy does stack very quickly with everything he has going on in here. You know, he's good. You know, he has basically the same kit as Gohan, but this guy is meant to go in slot 1, so that's why he's just shot way up higher onto the list. I know I spent 10 minutes talking about why I don't like Gohan. The reason I like Goku more is because he has basically the exact same kit as Gohan, but you can put this guy in slot 1. But now, the reasons I like Vegeta better, or Trunks and Vegeta better, is the leader skill and then the active skill. I think that this active skill is just way better than this. This does not do, like, any damage. The crits are nice, but, I mean, they also have crits. Or is it? Right here. Yeah, and then you get this allies 20% defense buff. I don't know, like, this is a Spirit Bomb. Normally, you know, they like to give Spirit Bombs, like, ally buffing effects. So I don't really know why they didn't give this Goku, like, you know, all allies attack and defense plus 20% for 2 turns. If they had done that, I think I probably would have put this this Goku over Trunks and Vegeta. But just because this active skill is so weak, I like Trunks and Vegeta better. Because, I mean, they're both slot 1 units, right? They're both doing very similar things. This Goku's guard does wear off, but he is going to, like, raise his defense much higher and faster because of, like, all the crazy... I don't even want to read this, but just know that he's building up a lot more defense, like, in all this nonsense. So, I mean, his guard will eventually wear off, but... yeah, so Trunks and Vegeta. I like them. I like them more. Anytime I'm like, oh, I want to showcase a unit, it's this. This is these Carnival leader skills are okay, but them just being to one category, and most of the time they're not like a super crazy category so far. They're very, like, limited, small categories. I put a lot of value in how often do I run the units, how often am I using their teams, what do I think of their leader skill. I probably rank leader skill too much. I know a lot of people they just look at the passive. Like, this is all they care about is like this. They look at this and this is all they care about. But for me, it's like, okay, I really value the leader skill because that determines how often I'm going to be using the unit. And then it's like, okay, do I like running 2 of the leader? And in this instance, I do like running both of the leaders. The people below them, I don't like running 2 of this guy. This guy you can run 2 of. I don't know if I'd really like it, though, because like I said, on like the first couple turns, these guys, their defense can be a little... No. 2 of this guy is okay. But the second one is like, it's a little, like, you can run 2 of this guy, it's fine. But you're really, like, being held down by golden freezes, securing that slot 1. Kind of Janemba, but you gotta play around Janemba, get him built up a little bit for the first few turns, which you can do, but you can run 2 of this guy. It can work, but... And then anyway, so I put a lot of value. So this guy, it's like, oh, running 2 of these? I don't care. Give me 3 of them. I'll put 3 of them on the team. For the content that we have right now, with it being to where you can have their guard up for most of the fight and other slots. Very good link set. A lot of good categories, good stats. I don't know. I really like this unit. If it weren't for some easy A's, I probably would have had this guy in the top 3. This guy comes up next. This is gonna make people upset, but again, keep in mind the color tiers here. Okay, so I could see this guy as high as 2. Same thing here. You know, if you get Super Saiyan 2 Gohan going crazy, I could see him at 5, maybe even 4. But I feel 5 is pretty comfortable with who's above him. So yeah, I can shift these around in any of the color tiers. So this guy, I could see him as high as 2, but we're putting him at 4. That's gonna upset some people. Some of it is the hype of the character. I do not care about this unit at all. I was never a huge fan of GT. Like, every time I try to watch GT, I get 2 episodes in and I just am so sad. And then I spend the rest of the time just annoyed at, like, Pan, and I don't know. I do not like GT. I think the Super Saiyan 4 designs are cool. I don't have a problem with that. But dude, the writing in GT is so bad. It's not good. Like, what's the clip of Omega where he's fighting Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Gogeta's like, I turned your negative energy into positive energy, and it's like, dude, shut up. And then Omega's like, oh, you said you turned my negative energy into positive energy and use the positive energy. And it's like, dude, I hate you. Like, I hate you. Shut up. Their leader skill is better. They do lead Battle of Fate, which is good. I'm not a huge fan of Power of Wishes. They're stacking attack instead of defense. The reason I like this character so high is because they're building up this 50% damage reduction, which on top of their super high stats is very, very good. And then I like their standby a lot more. I like this Vegeta. I like the support he gives. You know, you can just set them in slot 3 with, you know, they're on a lot of really good teams, and you can just kind of set this unit in slot 3, and they're giving this massive 8 key and 80% attack support. So it's like your first 2 units can just go insane, you know, beating the crap out of the enemy. And then it's like, okay, if you do die in the rotation, guess what? You're gonna launch this giant spirit bomb that you're stacking attack for. You know? And if you are able to get this guy's attacks off first, which is not super likely because, ooh. But, you know, if you're able to get this spirit bomb off, or if you're able to get these attacks off for the spirit bomb, and get some decent stacks going with these guys, that spirit bomb can hit really hard, and if you get the crit, you know, it's doing a lot of damage. But I really like the design of this standby Vegeta. I like the support he's giving. You know, they made him intentionally, I don't want to say weak, but they didn't give him any defense because they want you to launch the spirit bomb on the turn that you switch into this guy. They don't want you to be stuck in a Vegeta. Now, this unit is going to be prone to aging out because their defense is what it is. So if we get like a giant jump in power creep, they're not stacking defense to make themselves more powerful. They're kind of capped out right now at the current meta, and it's good. I mean, they can survive in the current meta with their defense up, but they're also a slot 2 unit for most of the fight. So until you get all these attacks off and get their 50% damage reduction built up, and even after that, they're still pretty much just a slot 2 unit most of the time. The reason they're not at 1, and the reason the other 2 units above them are not at 1, is because I don't feel comfortable running them in slot 1 most of the time. I feel like if you're going to be the number 1 unit, I have to be like, oh yeah, we can put them in slot 1, no problem. So I really like this unit, but what's just keeping them from being in that top tier, and like I said, I could make that top tier like a separate color, or the same color as these, and I could just kind of interswap these 4 units in the top, like the very top echelon of the game right now. But the reason I didn't is because we already saw. Listen, I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it in. I'm talking like you guys don't already know who the next couple of units are. But the reason I like Piccolo at 1 here is just because I feel like for most of the fights in the game right now, Piccolo can just absolutely crush. And guess what? These two were buffs to Piccolo. Piccolo's team is insane. We're gonna get to him, but like, he is so good. I could not put another unit above him right now. He's just too good. The meta hasn't shifted since he came out. Whenever he came out, everyone was like, what is happening? You just win. You just bring 2 orange Piccolos and you win. That's still true. We haven't had, the 8th anniversary didn't really give us any events. I'm getting ahead of myself, but the 8th anniversary didn't give us any events that really pushed power creep beyond what it currently is. And I think for the most part, that's still true. Anyway, next up we have Gogeta and Vegito. Now, a lot of people like to put these guys in the same tier. The reason I didn't is just because I like Vegito's consistency better. That's really the only reason. I've been talking about it throughout this entire list, so then it wouldn't make any sense for me to, get to the end here and be like, oh, Vegito is way more consistent than Gogeta. Now, Gogeta, there's somebody out there who, because I know them, I was a roommate with them in college, who had Tech Vegito Blue. The TUR. I hated Tech Vegito Blue whenever he came out. 1, he shafted me really bad on this banner, but 2, that dude always gave me the worst RNG of all time. I got nothing. Mine did like 1 super, if I even got him enough ki, and then he would just do nothing the rest of the fight. Like, it'd just be normal. It's like, oh, great. And then he's just not doing anything. And then my roommate's like, whoa, look at my crazy Vegito Blue. He's doing like 50 supers a turn. And I'm just sitting there watching him kill every event with him launching that final Kamehameha, which at the time was like a crazy animation. It like zoomed in and it like shot it out. And then here I am, just like Chums McGee, sitting on the couch next to him, and mine's just getting KO'd because he can't do anything. So that's why I have this Vegito, surprisingly, over this Gogeta, is in their blue forms. This guy just gets the, where is it? Right here. He has the medium chance of launching additional super attacks, and like 2 additional attacks, medium chance to become a super. I already know that I'm going to have horrible RNG with these, because that's just how these units go for me. And I'm just going to get 1 super out of this guy, and then 2 normals, and then maybe like the hidden potential edition super, maybe. So with this guy's going to be doing way more damage for some people, because they're going to get 4 super attacks out of this guy every single turn. But I like what Vegito, his EZA, is doing more. He's going to be much more consistent, and I like that. The reason I don't have these guys at 1 is because after their first turn that they're in blue, you don't really want to be putting these guys in slot 1. You can, kinda, depending on the fight that you're in, but for the most part, these are going to be slot 2 units. And like I said, I can't put them above Piccolo at the moment, just because just for the most part, you're not going to want to put them in slot 1, but they are very good. This is very close. Like I said, I could make this the same tier as these 4, and you could probably just interswap these guys, but I don't know. I really like Piccolo at the moment. So Piccolo, one, he's leading superheroes and Battle of Wits, which just, this gives him access to the STR banner unit Piccolo, who I do think is the best banner unit in the game. I know some people like Android 8. The reason I don't like Android 8 is because if you get unlucky and you have him on a rotation without a Kid Goku, he does have a tendency to get caught. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But yeah, this is just a very good leader skill. Superheroes, incredible category, probably the best right now. It's like you have the Gammas, you have both of these guys, you have Vegeta and Trunks. Like, who on this top 10 list do you have? Let me just go to this view. I guess it's just them. It's just this guy and then these two. So, but that's still 1, 2, 3, you know, basically 40% of the top 10 units in the game. I know I have this Gohan here, but it is. It's literally 40% of the top 10 units in the game right now. In terms of LRs are on his team. I'm sure, like, if I went through and looked at the other breakdown, but these guys work well on Piccolo's team. So I like that. I like that, you know, he's raising attack and defense on both of his... Oh, wait, this is the SSR, isn't it? Lol. Okay, here we go. He's raising attack and defense on both of his super attacks greatly, which is good. He's got this chance of stunning, which you can get in, like, early stage red zone fights. This can be good, and then it's also good for Super Battle Road. You know, he's lowering attack and defense. You know, again, good for some of those early stage red zone fights. Also this, I think the Cell red zone, you can stun all the way through it until maybe the STR phase. So, I mean, this guy can just lock down that entire Cell fight, which is, I don't want to say it's easy, and I don't want to say it's hard, but it is, like, one of the more difficult fights in the game. Like, it's definitely not super free unless you're bringing a ton of stunning characters. Like, I know whenever I did my Ginyu Force run with it, I don't think I ever posted that, but I did a Ginyu Force run through that Cell event whenever it first came out, and Raccoon and Goldo just bullied Cell the entire fight. And then, you know, it ends with the STR phase, and then the Ginyus by then are just, like, dunking all over him, so... This entrance animation, the 100% attack and defense, and guards all attacks for 3 turns. That means, you know, if you get him on turn 1, he'll guard on turns 1 and 3, and then if you get him on turn 2, he'll guard on turns 2 and 4. This allows him to build up this 150% attack per attack received. He reduces damage received by 20%. You know, that's... this is all really good, right? So he's got 20% damage reduction. He's building up huge multiplicative defense. He's got this attacking defense 150% right here. He gets ki +1 per ki sphere obtained. He gets all allies 2 ki after receiving an attack, which you're going to get most of the time because, like I said, you want this guy in slot 1 because he's going to have like 1,000,000 defense start of turn. It's going to be great. He does have this heal. This is very good. People underrate mid-battle heals. That's another reason I could have put this guy above, because he does have like the survive KO thing. And he does have the heal, but I don't know. Like I said, leader skill, active skill. I don't know. I probably don't rate this high enough. I'm literally talking about how I love mid-battle heals, and then I'm like not rating this guy's mid-battle heal. Yeah, I just, their leader skill, man, is just so good. You could do this, and I would not be upset. If you wanted to like screenshot this and send it to me, or if you wanted to screenshot this, I don't care. Like, the reason these are blue is because I could do this. Honestly, I could probably do these two as their own color. I could do like, what do we not have? Like, I don't know, but, oh yeah, we can do that. I could do like this. I think you could do this, but then I think that'd be unfair to this Gohan, because, you know, if you get God RNG with him, I think he could be up here, so... I don't know. I don't know what I want to do there. I think I'll leave it like this. But that's kind of where I'm at with this list, so... but yeah, Piccolo, he's got like 1,000,000 defense, he's got this mid-turn heal. If you get the heal off, you get another 30% damage reduction, which I have gotten before. I have actually seen this pop off. And then, of course, you have his giant form. His giant form, I think, unless you get like crazy stacks with the GT Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and GT Goku, I think his giant form still has the potential to be the most damaging like thing in the game right now. And with the glitch, there is like, I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's intentional. I'm pretty sure it's a glitch. But right now in the game, you can use his giant form, and let's say you don't KO the enemy and you're still on that phase. that enemy cannot super attack you, like, as soon as you come out of this form, so it's a free turn. You basically get 4 free turns of no damage, while Piccolo does up to 27 attacks that can all be, like, crits. Can be, if you build them with crit, which you should. And then you come out of it, and then you just have another free turn where you're not getting supered. I mean, that's basically like having a scouter at the moment, because you come out of this orange Piccolo transformation here, and you basically have a scouter, essentially, because you know that he's not supering. That's like having a scouter up, because if you have a scouter up and he's not supering, you go, oh, he's not supering. It's the same thing. It's the same concept. This guy essentially right now has a scouter after he comes out of his giant form. That's so good. And that's assuming that his giant form just doesn't kill whatever you're attacking. It's like he has the guard. We did not get... Whenever this guy came out, everyone saw how powerful he was, because we had, the 3 main red zones. And this guy could just one-shot. Like, he could take the boss from 100 to 0. Between this guy and maybe like a second orange Piccolo. People were just setting up rotations where you go in, and you've got 2 orange Piccolos, and it's like, oh, we win. We win. We're at the final boss. We win. Because you just pop 1 orange Piccolo, boom, you attack. And then it's like, oh, we didn't kill him. He's got a little bit of health left. Boom, pop the second orange Piccolo. We win. And you just set it to auto, and you just win. Nothing's changed. We got the Cell red zone. The only fight that you can't do that in is the Cell Max red zone. But this guy is so powerful, and his team is so good that Cell Max, like, this guy's, it's free. You go into that Cell Max red zone, and with this guy's team, and it's just free. Like, nobody on that team can get hurt. This guy can't get hurt. Like, he's gonna have so much defense. It does not matter. So I had like a brain block. So I think Piccolo's super good. Now, we did get the new 8th anniversary event, like the fighting all the anniversary characters, and we did get the like the Shadow Dragon event thing. It's tough to rank units with the Shadow Dragon event because of how they have like the damage reduction sliders and like the type effectiveness. It just seems like type advantage is just much more effective in there. So like, this guy's maybe not as good in some of those fights, just because you want type advantage. But you still have the orange Piccolo transformation. You pop that, you come out of it, and it's like, all right, we know we're not being supered. So that is very valuable in its own right now. And until that gets fixed, I don't know. I can't put anybody above this guy at the moment. So let me know what you guys think about this tier list. I'm sure somebody's going to be mad about it. If you stuck around this long, 42 minutes in, I appreciate it. If you just jumped around, if you just came to the end here, screenshotted this, and you're adding me on Twitter, I mean, cool. Thanks for the interaction. But this is kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. Like I said, in these colored tiers, I could move anybody up or down between there. Like, really, I could do this. But, let's say you get Super Saiyan 2 Gohan out, then, I could do like this. If this guy is just, like, going crazy. This guy, the reason I could put him in these upper tiers and not, like, down in this purple tier is just because of, like, how many teams he's on and how much value you get out of him. These guys are very, like, niche to kind of one team, basically. Like, Cooler's only on his team. This Gohan is only on his team, like I said, because you want that Piccolo next to him. So that's the reason why this guy's just so versatile that I think his value alone could push him up to here. The reason I don't have him above these guys is because I think they are the better revive unit right now. And I don't really think any of these characters in kind of this middle tier touch these guys. This guy maybe if he transforms, but he doesn't have near the amount of tech that these guys do. Piccolo, again, I'm sorry, I spent 10 minutes talking about this guy in the beginning, and, here we are at the end. So, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if this is a horrible tier list. I appreciate all of you, and I'll catch you guys in some Bardock showcases later today or tomorrow.